Hi there, and welcome back to another Fat for Weight Loss video. My name is Aaron, and I specialize in helping you go keto to improve your health, and then help you bring back the carbs without gaining all the weight back. Over the past 4 years, I've been working with clients one-on-one to help them get to their health goals through structure by stepping off the yo-yo diet cycle and incorporating a periodized approach to weight loss. And in this video, I've actually teamed up with Diet Doctor, who also help their subscribers get healthy with a low-carb ketogenic based approach by incorporating a simple meal plan to help their members get to their goal weight. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that meal plans are my jam. I love turning nutrition topics into simple visual approaches to help eating in that particular style. And today, I'm going to share the meal plan that I've created inside the Diet Doctor app with some of my favorite recipes, and I'll walk you through how to set it up inside the app, and I'll showcase one of my favorite recipes with a slight twist so that you know what you're getting into. So let's dig into it. The reason why I chose to work with Diet Doctor on this was simple. We both have a higher protein approach to going low carb. Having higher protein as you get older is super important because your threshold for a particular amino acid called leucine, which is responsible for building and maintaining muscle, goes up. This means that as you age, you have to eat more protein to get the same muscle sparing effects than ever before. And for women in particular, going through perimenopause and menopause, decreasing their quantity of sex hormone production, which causes unintentional muscle loss and ultimately weight gain around the midsection due to muscle loss and insulin resistance. And the best way to combat all of this is to incorporate protein with each meal. So many of my clients feel their best when they're eating sufficient protein, but admittedly, it's not always easy to incorporate protein into breakfast. And let's face it, eggs for breakfast gets pretty old. So this meal plan I put together is based on intermittent fasting. This way, we're reducing your eating window and cutting out some of those snacks that increase insulin sensitivity and gives you the simplicity of just making dinner and keeping leftovers for lunch the next day. How does this all work? Well, that's where the Diet Doctor app comes in. You simply just download the app from the App Store, enter your details to get started. There is a fee for their app, which is about $11.50 US per month or $99 per year. So just be mindful of that. I'd start with the monthly first just to ensure you actually use it. So I'm going to jump over to the app and give you a bit of a walkthrough exactly what the app is, what it looks like, and then where you can find some of the meal plans. So this is the screen that opens up here. And as you can see, there's a couple of different tabs down the bottom, right? So the main screen here is that you'll be able to see what's coming up in your meal plans or some breakfast options, some dinner options. You know, it's got plenty of recipes here, which is great. The second tab, which is called the Eat tab, you want to select that one. If you want to jump over to the meal plans and find my meal plan, you'll select meal plans up the top there, and then you'll say get a DD Plus themed meal plan. So we select that button. If you search for my name, Aaron, you'll see intermittent fasting for weight loss with Aaron Day. So select that meal plan and you'll be able to jump in and start that meal plan. You can also see, if we go back here, that we can go over to tracking here. So you can see that I've been tracking my weight for the past little while, and you can set goals. So you'll see that, you know, this is where you've started. Here's some goals along the way to your goal weight, which I think is really great. There's another tab down the bottom right-hand corner, which is called Connect, and that is where you'll see different groups that you can become a member of. And I would assume that this is similar to, or it looks similar to Facebook groups, right? And I think they did come from a Facebook group, and this looks pretty similar, which is great. You can like it and comment and save, and you can join other particular groups. So for instance, if you've got a sweet tooth craving, you might join the Beat the Sweets group, or the Success in Progress, or the Exercise group, or the Tech Support, you know, all those things. So you want to go back on there. So there's some groups there. There's the tracking there, the Eat, and the actual home screen. So I really like the design of the app, and let's jump into following an actual meal plan. This meal plan follows an intermittent fasting style approach, using leftovers for dinner as a lunch the next day. Within the app, if you're wanting to batch cook for the next day, you'll just have to select 2 servings to ensure that you've made enough for leftovers as well. The app doesn't look further into the future than the meal you're currently eating, and that's probably for good reason. So let's run through the actual meal plan, and I'll give you a bit of an idea of how to use that within the app and how you can follow that. So if we go to the Eat tab down the bottom and we select meal plans, again, go into the DD Plus themed meal plans, search for my name, Aaron Day, and you'll see the intermittent fasting for weight loss with Aaron Day. So if you want to start this meal plan, all you do is you just press the big start button up the top. I think that's pretty handy. You can just start that, and we will start that on a Monday. So let's go back and see, okay, with my meal plans, this is where, so if you go back into the Eat Plan, you go Meal Plans, now that you have that meal plan, it is selected here, and that's going to be started on Monday for you. And you can see lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner, lunch and dinner. Because this is an intermittent fasting meal plan, you really only have lunch and dinner. We don't really need recipes for breakfast because breakfast can be pretty simple or complicated depending on how you love to do it. But everyone has different breakfast options, and breakfast is pretty simple. Here, this is where we have a look at lunch and dinner, and you can see that it's using the same recipe for lunch the next day as it is for dinner the night before. So if you go in and you select dinner, if you are actually following this recipe, you can see this awesome photo there, which is great, thanks to the Diet Doctor team. You scroll down and you would select 2 servings, just because you want to be able to make enough for the serving for dinner that night and the next day. If you were doing this with your partner, you could do 4. So you could do 2 for dinner for both of you, and then 2 for lunch the next day. If you had more than that like more members of your family, then you can obviously change those servings there. You can also set, whether you want metric or imperial measurements, and you can add all the information to your shopping list, and you can add some tips, and you can leave a 5-star rating down the bottom as well. So that's sort of how that works. Let's go down to, for instance, let's go over to the prosciutto-wrapped chicken thighs recipe. So this is the recipe that I'll be showing you how to cook in a second here, except it's going to have some asparagus there instead of the leafy greens, but that's totally fine. People make different side salads and different ways of doing things. I often find that with side salads, they're great, but some people want just like some different alternatives to just a side salad, because that's kind of what you always do on keto. So that's where the asparagus section comes in, and it's really delicious for that. So if we scroll through here, you can see that it's you just create 2 of those servings if you want to do lunch the next day. You can add all of those ingredients to your shopping list, and here's the super clear instructions, some tips on there, and leave your 5-star rating down below. It's pretty simple. It's a really, really simple meal plan to follow. You can also see your shopping list here. So the shopping list for the entire week, that goes through, and you can just take that to the store and get those particular ingredients, and it's all grouped in those areas. So dairy, eggs, fats and oils, herbs, nuts and seeds, pantry. It's really well categorized, which is great. You can also, what else have you got here? So you can also up the servings for this entire meal plan to 2, so that you don't always have to set 2 as a serving inside the recipes. You can also stop the meal plan. You can see about the meal plan, see the shopping list, see the nutrition, share this meal plan, edit this meal plan, or delete this meal plan as well. So if you didn't want to follow this recipe or this meal plan anymore, you would just delete this meal plan and you would come back to it. The greatest part about the Diet Doctor app that I really love is being able to substitute recipes out. So if you look at that keto pizza egg wrap and you're like, I don't really like eggs, let's switch that for something that doesn't have eggs in it. So we can maybe do keto lamb chops with herb butter, and you can select that as a substitution, and that just switches it out for you, which I think is a super handy feature to be able to use. And that means you can say, all right, well, I'm only getting a total of 8 grams of carbohydrates in that entire meal, and I assume that's net carbs. And then the next day you can see here 7 grams, 9 grams. That only really adds up to 16 grams in an entire day, which is super low. So, I mean, intermittent fasting really keeps those carbs low, but it also keeps your total calories low. And for that reason, it's really, really useful for some groups of people, but probably not so useful for some other groups of people. And I'll talk a little bit about that further in this video below. So that's a bit of a rundown on the meal plans. I'm going to show you exactly how I create one of my favorite recipes, and let's dig into that. I want to quickly show you one of my favorite recipes within the meal plan, and this is the prosciutto wrapped chicken thighs recipe. The recipe within the actual meal plan is a little bit different, so be sure to follow the instructions, but this is the way I do it. So enjoy. So I'm using chicken thighs here, and again, in Australia, chicken thighs generally come without the skin if you buy them from the supermarkets. So I'm using skinless chicken thigh, and we're putting them into a pretty hot pan, and we're trying to get that golden color on both sides. So both on the top and underneath. If you're using the skin, then you're just gonna have to take some of the fat out from the additional fat that we're adding in later. But with those cooked chicken thighs, I'm wrapping them in prosciutto. Now the supermarket prosciutto isn't the best quality, as you can see, but it works. So you're wrapping the chicken thigh in the prosciutto and then you're adding it back into the pan to sort of get that prosciutto nice and crispy. Now you want to make sure also that the chicken is cooked all the way through, or an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Adding that back into the pan here. Keep all the juices in there because that's going to be useful later on. Get that golden color on the prosciutto and then remove them from the frying pan and set those aside. We're going to use those in a little bit. Now to this pan, you can keep it on the heat where you probably want to reduce the heat slightly from the frying, and adding in some heavy whipping cream or thickened cream or pure cream, whatever you like. We're adding about 300, 250 mils there. We're adding some chicken stock and also some garlic. You saw me add some minced garlic in there. Whether you use fresh garlic, that's totally up to you. Plenty of black pepper and plenty of salt. You're getting plenty of salt from the prosciutto, so don't go too crazy with the salt. Mostly the black pepper. And then adding those back into the cream sauce. And now we're going to put that into the oven for about 10-15 minutes, just until that sort of wilts down. Adding some asparagus to the side of this dish. You can't have salad with everything, so I get that, and you guys have been asking for some type of vegetables to go with these meals, so I'm just grilling some asparagus here, and that's what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. I want to run you through a few thoughts that I have about the app and the nutritional plan so that you can best decide whether this is the right fit for you, because honestly, this approach isn't for everyone. I'll start with the pros. If you are a female who just wants to eat a healthier diet than you currently are, this plan will work perfectly. This meal plan would be targeted towards females who are maybe 50 years of age or over and live a light, active lifestyle. So if you are younger or you're more active, then I would suggest looking at some alternatives within the app. The app provides a simple layout with a shopping list and of course simple recipes, so it doesn't get much easier than that. And nutrition can sometimes often be overcomplicated, so it is nice to have some simple options like that just work if you are willing to put in the work yourself. This app is also super cheap. Under $12 per month with meal plans, which you can switch around and get certain levels of customization, is incredibly affordable. I like that because eating right shouldn't have to be expensive. I love the ability to track weight and set weight goals, and also join the community within the app. These are super excellent features that no other app that I've seen has. So well done to the Doctor team on those ones. Now let's cover some of the cons that I think you might encounter, because I want to be completely honest within this video. Hopefully, if you're watching this at a later date, they've already fixed some of these small technical issues, but I'll do my best to highlight some of the areas where I think this app could be improved. Now, if you're an active 30-year-old male, just like me, this app just isn't for you. There isn't a program that is designed for your caloric needs within the app. And it doesn't mean you can't use these recipes as inspiration, but we're just not the target market. While the app does make following a low-carb diet really simple, there are a few trade-offs with simple approaches like this. If you struggle with accountability or maybe emotional eating, then this app just may not be the ultimate solution for you, as you can easily just not follow the meal plan, or you just don't open the app for weeks on end, leaving you to pick up from where you left off. My job when I work with clients one-on-one is to personalize nutrition for their needs. Well, what does this actually mean? Well, jumping straight into a ketogenic diet might be miles away from your current diet. Sure, it might help you lose weight for a little while, but ultimately you want nutrition to be sustainable. This means that we want to find what works best for you, even when you're super stressed out with work and can't find time to cook. I really do encourage you to give this a try, but don't be disappointed if it doesn't work for you. Just keep trying alternate options, or if your budget allows for it, look into personalized nutrition coaching, which aims to meet where you're at and help you get the results you're looking for regardless of the circumstances. So I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to check out my new meal plan within the Diet Doctor app. And if you are looking to lose weight and you have no idea where to start, this is a great option. If you're a young active male that has other goals, you'll be better off using an alternative approach. If you're interested in learning more, the links to all of the resources I've spoken about are below. Have a fantastic day, and I will be seeing you in the next video.